You're a smart cookie.
I'm a smart cookie?
Yeah, man, you exceeded me. I'm going to get that. So I'll click on the link and I'll go buy a fridge.
Welcome back to the Tim and Nancy Danter channel, Hair Curler Chronicles, Crypto Couple. Sans Tim today, just Nancy. And I'm here again with my dear friend, Debbie Peltola Salmons. I have troubles with that. I'm sorry. I'm getting better. We're back for yet another episode where we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies for basics, or the basics about cryptocurrency. So how are you today, Debbie?
I am fantastic, and I am so stoked to be back here because, honest to goodness, I like to keep it simple. And I want to get right into it, Nance, with you about when I first heard about Bitcoin. At the time, the only option available was to purchase your Bitcoin through a service called Coinbase. So I'm hoping we can talk a little bit about, and we know that these are called wallets, and it's where you can purchase. So I just want to share with your audience and mine how you go about purchasing it, and then what do you do with it once you purchase it. And again, I like having the two perspectives because sometimes there's a little bit difference in Canada and US and availability to use different services, but there's so many out there. So maybe let's just talk about the two that we've used.
Okay.
All right.
First of all, for those of you that didn't catch us the last time, Debbie is from the U.S. and she's a resident there, not just from there, but she's living there currently. And I am Canadian, and I'm currently living in Canada. So we're giving you the perspective, the Canadian and the U.S. perspective, depending on what country you live in. These terms would still apply. They might not just be these actual ones, but this is what you're going to try to look for. So let's talk about, in the last episode, we talk about fiat, and fiat is the currency, the sovereign currency within a country. So for Debbie, that's the American dollar. For us, it's the Canadian dollar. Wherever you are, it's the currency that is in your country. So what you want to do is the very first step, you've decided, you've done your research, you've decided, I want to get some Bitcoin. What do? You have to go to a fiat on-ramp. So that is, Debbie has used Coinbase in the past. That is an exchange that's available for both Americans and Canadians. Right. It's been around for a long time, so it's trusted. We will have a link below in our description below. If you want to use a trusted link, you can use that link to get on to Coinbase. That's one option. And we also have a couple of other links below, because in case you don't want to use Coinbase, the fees on that are a little bit higher. But it's a really robust site. So the reason you pay a little bit more fees is that they've got more services available on that site. The one that we like to use in Canada, we've got two we recommend. One is called BitBuy. And Tim and I've used that one. We find it very easy to use. And now,
is that one available in the U.S. as well, Nance? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, that'll be interesting. We'll investigate.
You can investigate. The other one that's really kind of cool is a company called ShakePay. And I don't know if ShakePay is just in Canada or the US, but why they call it ShakePay is because every day you shake your phone and they will give you some free Bitcoin, some little tiny bits of the Bitcoin. No, every day you shake it and you get a few bits of Bitcoin. So just to back up, I want to say that each bit of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. So just helping you with some terms, because I know sometimes when people hear us talk, they're like, oh, they're talking another language. So in Bitcoin, there's only ever will be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation. And even at that, there won't be as many Bitcoin available because, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but each Bitcoin is on average right now is sitting just around the $60,000 US for one Bitcoin. Now, most of you are thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have 60,000 US dollars to be able to buy one Bitcoin. No worries. You can buy a small bit. And that as I said, we call it a Satoshi. You can, and so there is 100 million Satoshis in every Bitcoin. So you can, if you've only got $50 and you want to buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, you can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. That's no problem whatsoever. And as the price of Bitcoin rises, so will your $50 investment. Does that make sort of sense for that part? I'll pause and ask you if you need any other clarifications.
Absolutely makes perfect sense. And I think it's really vital. And again, guys, the language, you'll get more comfortable with it. You'll get more comfortable with the language. But here's what I'm going to detract from that or extract from that. And basically, it just means, you can get a little piece of the Bitcoin. You don't have to buy the whole Bitcoin. And so for me, and the reason I really like talking about this with some of my friends and family and others is that it is a way to start. You can just start with little bits, and then your value still goes up or down on that little bit. So no, I think you covered it really well. And I think it's really important to know that, because I just think people need to start with the little bit.
Yeah, and we, as a lot of people who follow the Tim and Nancy Danter YouTube channel, they will know. And if you've watched a lot of our videos, you'll know we've been in partnership with a fella named Ryan Hemsley, and his channel is the High Rye channel. And he's doing. He was the original starter of the Wealth Simple Trade Challenge for 2021. And so in that group, if you go and check out what they're doing, what is interesting to me is he got everybody, we're all like-minded people that wanted to change their life in 2021, and they were just going to do it. They call themselves the nickel and dime crew because they're just going to invest with their spare change, doing side hustles, saving money from their bills in order to go over and start investing. So my thing is they're doing it with stocks. My thing is that I'm doing the exact same thing, and I would recommend doing the exact same thing. But my horse in the race is definitely Bitcoin. And because for me, as crazy as this sounds, and I know it's going to sound crazy, it's more like a savings account to me. Bitcoin is more like a savings account, and it feels safer. Even given the volatility that we see or that they talk about with it, it still feels like I'm putting my $50 or my $60 or my $20 every week into my Bitcoin. It feels like I'm saving it in a savings account. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes so much sense. And I feel the same way. Like I've been on a $100 US auto purchase for years. And that's exactly what it feels like to me. I don't even know that it's going I do check it, of course, and I go in and look and I get the details, but that's exactly what it feels like to me. And just to add to that, I have been involved in stocks and investing for years as well. And I have that same feeling. I know there's volatility in both, but I don't have that same feeling of saving when I'm doing the stock market. And let's just be honest, a lot of times you got to buy your buy-ins a lot higher. You've got to have, there are apps and stuff available, which we'll talk about on another show sometime, that I started my children on some apps to start to purchase stocks. But that's the thing, is I feel the same way. I've watched stocks go up and crash and this. Haven't had that same feeling. And I go by my gut instinct on that feeling of it's just saving. It's just saving, and it goes automatically. And it's kind of pretty, like you said, I think our last show, it's exciting. And you go in there and you see it, and it's exciting.
I would say the other thing, and again, this goes back to my experience back last June when I first got into this, is that I actually put some skin in the game, because what happened when I started with $300. I was comfortable with $300. I thought, well, if I lose it, I lose it. But if it's $50 for you and that's as much as you can do, the idea is the second you put your own money into it, now all of a sudden your interest level of what it's doing goes way, way up. If you just are kind of interested and you check on it from time to time, you won't get as excited about what's going on as you would if you put your $50 in. And because of the volatility and what it's been doing, if you had put $50 in back last June, your $50 would be worth, oh heck,
I know.
I want to say it could even be worth $500. It's gone up. Like, what would you say?
Right.
I have to get my calculator out for that.
Oh, I know. Me too. Sorry, it's not happening right up here.
No, but if you'd done nothing else but put your $50 in, sitting almost a year, well, not quite a year later, 9 months later, you'd be sitting on a lot more money. So this is the difference between that and just keeping your $50 in a savings account.
Yeah, because let me just tell you, just on that account, my sons had a bit of an inheritance, and I had them divided up because I am also I'm not a real I'm pretty conservative, but I said let's split it up. They put some in our bank in a 12-month CD, certificate of deposit. The rest they put in Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you the difference is absurdity. The interest rate on the CD now, and that used to be in the US where you could actually get a little more than a savings account. It was something like 0.0248%. So it sat there for a year and made them $6. We put the other half in Bitcoin, and all I'm going to tell you is it's a whole lot better than that. So old thinking. Yes, okay, have some for security reasons, but you're not making money. And let's get back to the real basics, Nancy. Currency, whatever kind, the point is to make your money make you money.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that money can make you money. They just think you make money and you go ahead and spend it.
Yes. Yes. So, and then with Bitcoin, and this is the interesting thing, because it's not, because Bitcoin is not denominated by any single nation, Bitcoin actually trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you could go to bed with Bitcoin being one price and you wake up with it being a completely different price. And that's, it can be exciting and it can be scary all at once. But if you take a long-term view and you start to educate yourself as to where the price of Bitcoin is probably going to go, right now, last year when I got in and it was just around the 8,000-9,000 US mark, it seemed absurd to think it was going to hit the $20,000 mark.
Right.
That seemed absurd to me. And not only did it hit the 20,000 mark, it blew past it. And now it's sitting there, and they've got a price prediction, and this is a conservative price prediction for the end of 2021 of over $100,000. And in fact, some of the crypto experts are saying that that is way too low of a valuation. The ultimate thing that we're hearing is that it's going to head towards $1 million within the next 10 years. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking to yourself, I've missed the boat, I should have got in at $9,000. We are still new at this. This is still we're still just have early adopters, and you're starting to see the bigger institutions, the bigger players getting on board right now. So as they get on board and they get more and things become more mainstream, like you've got Grayscale has just bought a whole bunch more. They've got an ETF
don't be throwing around these acronyms without explanations.
Well, I think an ETF stands for exchange traded fund, and so that means it's a fund that's sitting on the stock exchange. So you if you didn't want to get involved in buying Bitcoin through one of these fiat on ramps, but you wanted to get in on the game, you could buy an ETF that's trading on the stock market right now, and you'd still get into the same game. So you could go over to the Grayscales, I think it's GBTC, and you could have a look at how much that has increased, because again, it's denominated by what they're buying in crypto. You're buying a fund that's really out with them buying crypto. So that's another way that you can, if you feel more comfortable going with an ETF, you can go that route. You'll still get to play in the game a little bit. So I think we need to go back. We've talked about the fiat on ramp. So you go to one of these exchanges, Coinbase, BitBuy, ShakePay.
Right. Now, and then what? What do people do then? Because, I understand. that when I purchase, I use Coinbase and it's sitting there.
Right.
But it's sitting there and you can watch the value go up and the value go down. What do you do after you purchase it? Do you keep it in that wallet? Because that's what that's called. It's a wallet.
Yeah, no.
I transfer mine out. I happen
Yeah.
to use BlockFi.
Yeah.
And I like BlockFi, again, security reasons. It's been around. And there's a really good interest rate that goes on over there as well. Is that what you do, Nance?
Yeah, that's what Tim and I do. Here's the thing. We're not that sophisticated enough. We're not sophisticated enough to hold our Bitcoin offline in what they call a cold wallet, which means you're taking all of your Bitcoin or all of your investments and you can put it into, there's many ways to do it. Nano ledgers. I think Tim's got a link for that down below. If you really, really want to get hardcore and you want to keep your, you want to take your Bitcoin offline, you can click on the link below where it says a ledger and you could buy one of those. It looks like a little UPS, USB port. USB port, you stick it in and then you take it offline. And now you've taken your cryptocurrency completely out of circulation. That's one way to do it. And many, many people, especially the Bitcoin enthusiasts.
Yeah, I had no idea of this, by the way. No.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. And a lot of Bitcoin fundamentalists, they believe that if you don't hold your key separately, then you don't hold your own crypto. They believe that. And that's fine. That scared me a little bit. I was like, oh, what if we lost that thing? What if we lost our password? Oh my gosh, because you hear terrible stories about that. So I'm thinking, ooh, I don't want to do that. So what Tim and I have opted to do is go to BlockFi. And again, there's a link down below, a secure link. You can click on that. And if you use any of these links, you get a little bit of money back for yourself to try any of these links. And what I loved about it was I felt safe there and I felt like I could access it and I have somebody to call about it. Now, what it is, it's a little bit different than a cold storage point of view. They're actually taking your Bitcoin and they are lending it out on the exchange. So it's there, but it's out in circulation. They're lending it out and it's still in the circulating supply and all that stuff. But you get paid a very nice interest for letting them do that. And so, I mean, we just got our interest payment out from them on March 31st or April 1st. Yep, and let me tell you, I'm telling you, it is exciting. It's exciting when you get that, and we get it paid back in Bitcoin, and it goes back into our pile of Bitcoin that's just accumulating.
Which really is another compounding effect.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's another compounding.
And so it's like if you wanted to find a way to get another $100, $200, $300, $500, $1,000 a month, and for doing nothing but having your money making money for you, that's how you do this. And it's very, very simple. So, but you have to go at this really slowly and methodically at first. What I would recommend for safety's sake, open yourself a new Gmail account. Open a new Gmail account and make sure that you use specific passwords and specific email only for buying your cryptocurrency. Make sure your passwords are incredibly, ridiculously hard. Write a whole phrase. Keep it in a book. And then go at it step by step. If you need to see videos on how to do this, Tim and I have got videos. I think I'll try to make sure I've got a link on how
What's your YouTube channel again, Nance?
Our YouTube channel is Tim and Nancy Danter, and you can subscribe below. And hit the little bell, because when you do hit the bell, it'll let you know when there's other videos being uploaded. But I think for today, honestly, this is
let's them digest this.
Right. So you want a fiat on ramp? There's links below. You then want to figure out, well, where am I going to hold it? Am I going to hold it offline? Do I feel comfortable with that? There's a link below for an offline storage, which is a ledger. Or if you want to do the way that we do it, both us and Debbie, is to hold it in BlockFi, because then it's earning interest and it's like it's passive income on top of an asset that's growing exponentially. So those would be the tips and tricks. Will you come back again?
Of course I will. And listen, I'm learning and I love learning. So absolutely. And thank you so much for having me again, Nance.
Oh, this is amazing. Thanks everybody for joining. If you have any comments or have any specific questions, please leave them down below. I do read every one of them, and we try to make sure that we answer everything to you personally, or it jumps off a point for us to do more content. So thank you everybody, and have a fabulous day.
Thanks, Nance. You're a smart cookie.
I'm a smart cookie?
Yeah, man, you exceeded me. I'm going to get that. So I'll click on the link and I'll go buy a fridge.